Driving through York, you'll notice colorful murals, intriguing sculptures, and dressed-up parking meters. What you don't often see are the artists behind these masterpieces. There is no way to know what it's really like being an artist in York City. Because of the small, compact communities throughout York, artists from all over are settling into Pennsylvania's hidden gem. There are now more opportunities than ever for striving artists to find jobs doing what they love and turning their creativity into a career. The artists don't have to stay together anymore and are beginning to branch out because the city is accepting them and their art. The city of York is changing art for the better, and art is changing the city. My name is Caroline Bauer, and I'm an 8th grade student from West York. I consider myself an artistic person, and because of that, I have chosen to tell the story of the city canvas as my York Storykids project.
We're a living canvas. I think that one thing that made me fall in love with York the most is the fact that you feel like where you're walking is completely intact from the time of the 1700s till now.
Where I grew up in Maryland is a really spread out kind of country sort of area. So here in York, everything is a lot more compact and there's a lot more artists in a small space, which makes it a lot more interesting and I'm going to say dense. So there's a lot more happening. It's a lot easier to find artists, creative people, to find galleries and things. And in Maryland, it's difficult to seek out. It's not so much a community as a couple of isolated events.
I think that the city is finally recognizing the art community, even more so than it's growing. When I first got involved in downtown York in the 90s, the thing that amazed me the most was how many artists live here. There is an amazing amount of artists that live in downtown York. What we need to do is make a city that is welcoming to new artists, but also supports the artists that we have.
Because my whole life is art, and the rest of my life is York, that it brings a lot of people into the area. So it's pretty commonly recognized that the arts are what is bringing back this resurgence of York City right now, which is really neat. People in the community that are not necessarily artists, as they recognize how important the arts are, it's feeding into the economy of the artists. So we see a lot more purchasing of art in big levels and small levels. We see a lot more of art-related events, and it's giving all of our artists the confidence to keep making more, to keep doing more, and then to feed back into the community. And that's why it's working, because as artists we have confidence now to come out of our shells and show our work and seek out places where we can sell our work and show our work, and it makes us part of the community. I think it's important to talk about the way the schools now in the city, I feel like, are dealing with art, because that is changing, it seems. You know, when I first started participating in the community here, when I first started working at the Parliament, which was our first gallery here on Royal Square, we were there because we were losing all of the art out of the school. It was when all of the big budgeting crisis and all of this terrible stuff was happening, and so none of the schools had any art. And so we wanted to give a place where we could host art shows for school-age kids and teens and high schools and things like that. And that's how, one of the main reasons that started was to give it back to all of these kids that really need it so desperately.
The other thing that I think is happening is utilizing the arts as a teaching tool to teach not art, but the other subjects. I think finally the national conversation about how the arts and training in the arts helps you learn better, helps you retain information, and helps your brain be able to stretch and do more complicated tasks. And the idea of STEAM, putting the A in science, technology, engineering, and math, is finally translating down locally. A great example is artist residencies that use dance to teach geography, people that use hands-on projects, mosaics, to teach science. Those are the ways that people are finally retaining and really helping all learners learn. And the arts is a tool, not the end result.
The programs are coming back, but they don't have any money for supplies or budgets, and that's something that I can help with, which is really all I want to do. So it's really important. So as the community is recognizing the importance of the arts in the economic development of our city, the schools are starting to catch on, and it's starting to get its gravity back. I think we're going to see more and more artists being able to live solely on their art. It's that confidence to be able to start a business for yourself, to start selling your work and making a living at it. And so I think that that is going to become more and more of a recognized opportunity. Hopefully that will filter down into the schools so that kids in the schools will see that there is a path, there's a career path here.
Walking by the Gates House and Plow Tavern makes you feel like there's just so many souls walking around you. And I think that's one of the main reasons why so many artists live here, is it's so inspiring to live here. There's just such a beautiful embracing of our history, and we're all in our own ways curators and keepers of that history.